now, this is a very brief one. It is, 5 secrets your car mechanic doesn't want you to know. Morals, I don't really do shorts reacts because they're shorts. The reacts on a short is about the same length as a short. So, alright. So let's check this out. This is a brief video. It's only 7 minutes long. So we can watch this before we get to the culmination of tonight's evening. So let's see, 5 secrets. I just got a car not long ago. So let's see if this will apply to me. So chat. Hack my car. Wait, damn it.
Rev up your engines! Today I'm going to talk about 5 mechanic secrets that you should know. Because even if you're not going to fix your own car, knowledge is power. And if you know more about your car, you have less of a chance of getting taken advantage of when your car needs repair.
That. Okay, quick question. You do not need to answer if you do not wish. How many of you have wives or girlfriends? How many of you have wives or girlfriends or significant others of some nature? So, those of you that do, if you wanna play a prank on them, you may have heard this one. Go to a auto repair, like maybe an auto repair, or go to, like, for here in Canada it would be like Canadian Tire. For in the US it would be like a car parts store. Yeah, commoner, have your girlfriend go in and ask either for blinker fluid or for headlight fluid. This is AutoZone. Yes, AutoZone. And have them go in and ask for either headlight fluid or blinker fluid. Blinker fluid probably would be more realistic sounding. Say, honey, can you run in there and grab me some blinker fluid? Yes. Yes, Creed, blinker fluid. Yeah, little prank you can pull on them. Or like taillight fluid or something like that. That's a fun little prank you could pull in them. It's an oldie, but I think it's probably still a goodie.
Repairs. You get warning lights on in your dash. Let's say your check engine light comes on, your ABS light is on, and your track light all come on. They're all 3 shining while you're driving. Well, in many modern cars, that has to do more with the software and the design.
You know what he's about to say? I experienced this. When I had a problem with, I think at the time it was my brakes. I think it was a problem. I'm trying to remember what it was. It was one singular thing at the time. This is before my car went completely to shit, and it was so bad that I had to finally just give it up and buy a new car. It had like 3 different warning lights on, but it was only one singular thing that was the problem. And it didn't need a whole mess of repairs. It just had to have one thing fixed. I want to say it was the brakes that was causing like the engine and the ABS, and I think traction control. Sorry. No. I'm wrong. Let me back up. I had brake light, I had the ABS, I had traction control, and I think it was the engine, and it was literally a wiring issue. The wiring for, I forget what it was connected to, was frayed. The mechanic literally just had to strip the wires and resplice them, and that was it. That was all they needed to do, and that fixed all three of the warning lights on my car.
Of the car than actual problems. On many cars, especially Toyotas, Lexuses, if you have a problem and your check engine light comes on, automatically that will turn off the ABS and traction control systems. It's a computer safety thing. So you'll have these three lights and you think, oh, all these things are happening in my car. But in reality, the only real problem is the check engine light. So in that case, have it scanned, see what the check engine code is, and have that fixed first. I've had more people before they met me spend a whole bunch of money having work in quotation mark done at other mechanics, only later they come to me with the same thing, that all those lights are on, and it turns out that they got charged for ABS work, traction control work that probably wasn't even done on the car because there was another problem that the mechanic didn't fix right, and so they all came back on again. So if your check engine light comes on, and the ABS and the traction control lights are all on at the same time, don't have a fit. First, find out why the check engine light is on and fix that. That often fixes the whole thing. Now the next...
Yep, and this goes back to what I was telling, when we were discussing on the mechanics reacts, is where you should absolutely be finding a good local mechanic that knows what he or she is doing versus going to a corporate type mechanic if possible. Because a local mechanic or like a small privately owned auto repair place, they will take care of you far better than a corporatized auto repair place or a dealership will take care of you. The one downside, of course, being if you have a vehicle that has warranty coverage on it and you take that vehicle to a private mechanic, the dealer will often try and void any future warranty repairs because they'll say that you had non-OEM parts installed. We saw that in one of those mechanic videos. So if vehicle warranty is not a concern, definitely go to a local, well-respected mechanic, and you can easily find those just a simple Google search. Like, this is where Google searches come into play and Google reviews are handy. Do a Google search for local repair shops and look at the reviews. They will be very telling for you.
It has to do with the maintenance required light. As far as I'm concerned, the maintenance required light, that is one of the biggest scams out there. The manufacturers put them in to scare people to bring the car to the dealer. Those stupid lights on most cars will just come on at certain mileage intervals. Some cars will come on every 15,000 miles. What you want to do is, of course, maintain your car correctly, change the oil when you need to, but learn how to turn that maintenance required light off yourself. Because often the only thing the car needs when the maintenance required light comes on is an oil change. Do it yourself or have it done somewhere. Just Google for your own car turning off maintenance required light, and you'll see there's certain buttons you have to push in a certain sequence, and you can turn it off yourself. Don't freak out and go running to the dealer and get some gigantic bill for things that you really don't need to have done at all.
Now this one, I can't personally say I've ever encountered on any vehicle I've owned. I've had a couple vehicles, but I can't honestly say I've ever seen a maintenance service required ever. The only thing I've ever seen pop up is just change oil soon. That's the only maintenance required thing that I've ever seen on my car, is like it'll pop up with saying change the oil soon, and that's it. That's the only one that I've ever seen. I don't know, so maybe this might be on like older cars or something, but it's not one that I've ever seen.
All. And the next mechanic's tip is this: on any normal car, don't waste your money on expensive additives to stick in the engine or the transmission or the gas tank. Now, of course, companies make the stuff so they want to sell it to you. And let's say you bought a used car and it's a real junker and it's got something leaking or it burns a lot of oil. You can try some additives to attempt to help it a little bit, but in a normal functioning car that you take care of, it's a waste of money to buy that stuff.
Absolutely correct.
It's got plenty of additives, especially in the United States by law. The stuff's going to burn perfectly fine. You don't need to put anything else in it. It works great the way it comes from the refinery. And the same thing goes for engine.
And by the way, chat, I don't know if he's going to mention this. He may not. The mid-grade gasoline is a scam. You know how you have like 3 octanes of gas? You've got, what, 87 octane, I think it's 91 octane, and I think the high grade is either 95 or 96 octane, if I'm remembering the numbers correctly. The mid-grade gasoline, 100% a scam. Never get it. All the 91, you want to know how the 91, the mid-grade, is done? It doesn't come that way. Mid-grade gas does not come from the refinery that way. You know how it's made? At the gas station themselves. Gas stations have 3 tanks, 2 or 3 tanks, depending on what kind of gas they carry. There's a tank for the regular gas, and by the way, I know this because I used to work at a gas station. So I know this. You have a regular gas tank, you have a high octane or supreme gas tank, and then there's the diesel tank. The mid-grade gasoline is made by combining the regular gas and the high octane gas together. And that's how the mid-grade octane is made. It's mixed right there on site. They have piping going from the regular tank and the high octane tank into a single pipe that goes into mid-grade tank. So never ever get mid-grade gas. It is 100% a scam. And don't bother putting high octane gas in a regular car. You're spending a crap ton of money for no benefit. High octane gas does not do any better for your car than regular octane does, especially in modern day cars. Just thought I'd put that.
Engine oil works really good. It's well designed. It's much better than it was when I was a kid. All the chemicals that are added to the oil to make it last longer, to make it not burn, to make it not pollute and vaporize, they're in there from the factory. You don't need to add a bunch of packages yourself. You just need to change the stuff regularly. That's what you need to do, not put additives in. Change your oil when it gets dirty. If your car's heater doesn't work right, maybe it's lukewarm, maybe it doesn't work at all. A lot of times it's because of one simple thing. And that simple thing is this. If your car is low on coolant, often your heater won't work right. Now this may sound counterintuitive, but it's true. Your car's heater core that the hot water goes through and then the air blows and puts hot air on you is inside the dash most of the time, and it's usually the highest part of the cooling system. And as crazy as it sounds, the heater core only works with hot water inside. It doesn't work with hot air. So if your cooling system is low on coolant, since the heater core is the highest part, it gets filled up with air and the liquid goes back down into the engine. And hot air won't blow into your car. It has to be full of hot water that dissipates the heat to the fins, and your fan blows the hot air in your face. So if your heater is not working this winter, hey, just check your coolant level. It might just be low. I have fixed hundreds of cars that way over the years. Now the last mechanic secret has to do with car batteries. Ooh. Believe it or not, car batteries are kind of like eggs. They really have a sell-by date. Now when I was a young mechanic in the 60s, batteries were completely different. In the back of the gas station, we had empty batteries that were vacuum sealed. When it was time to put one in a customer's car, we got an ice pick, we broke all the vacuum seals, then we filled the battery with acid and charged it up with a battery charger. So in those days, the batteries had a pretty much indefinite shelf life. There was nothing in them. But modern batteries are filled with acid at the factory. It's just a new production thing. But once they're filled with acid, they start to deteriorate. And batteries in cars are made to start your car, discharge a little, then the alternator recharges it, then start and stop. If you fill them with acid and put them on a shelf and they sit there for months on end, they start to degrade and they lose a lot of their lifespan. And perhaps the worst ones I ever saw were these Delco batteries. They were making them in South Korea. Then of course, they put them on a ship and they send them to the United States. Well, who knows how many months it takes them to get here. I used to buy some of those batteries and I had hundreds of them go bad for my customers, way before they should have. Some of them only lasted a few months or a year and a half. So, when you're buying a battery for your car, pretend you're at the grocery store. Demand to see the date of the battery. and try to get one that's less than a month old, because they don't deteriorate that much in 1 month. But don't go to one of those big box stores where they got batteries all piled up in a giant pyramid and buy one there. Who knows how long that thing's been sitting at the bottom of the pyramid. Always get a fresh battery when you buy
Really,
one.
Doc?
So now you know 5 mechanic secret that'll keep you from wasting money on your car needlessly. Now, I've been a mechanic for the last 51 years, but one of the main reasons I became a mechanic was because I didn't trust anybody to fix my own car. So even if you're not going to fix your own car, realize a little bit of mechanic's knowledge can go a long way for saving you money. So if you never want to miss another one of my new car repair videos, remember to ring that bell.
Very nice. That was a very nice, informative video. I like that. I hope you all learned something today.